It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Detroit, where the Pistons will be going up against the Chicago Bulls. Looking at the Bulls, it's been a very successful first half of the season for them. When the opportunity to win a ball game has been there for them, they have grabbed it over and over. Almost ready for tip-off, but first a moment to talk about something that often gets overlooked, defense. Kenny, who are the most impressive defenders in the NBA right now?
Well, defense, I'm going to name some guys who've either played on championship team or contenders. Kawhi Leonard, defender on the wing. Andre Iguodala, MVP of the NBA Finals, but defense was one of the reasons. And Paul George, coming back from injury.
Welcome to the Palace of Auburn Hills. We are in suburban Detroit, the home of the Pistons, where we'll be broadcasting today's game live. Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game. They just haven't been able to buy a break lately. 5 of their last 6 games have been losses.
And in an important matchup, I mean, coming into a game like this as a coach or a player, you know in the back of your head that you've been beaten twice already this season, and you don't want to take a third loss to the same team.
And really, Greg, that's all you need to say. I mean, no shortage of motivation tonight. This one is personal.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Derrick Rose is out there with Mr. Clutch. And it's Muhammad in at the 3 slot. Now here's Jackson to the paint. And there's Drummond. That's good on the assist by Bargnani. Here's Rose. The pass to Mr. Clutch. He dishes it to Gasol. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D, because that clearly was a breakdown.
Dishes it to Bargnani. At the elbow, it's Drummond. Jackson against Rose. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Gasol with the steal. Here's Mr. Clutch, defended by Drummond. Here's Mr. Clutch, good on the 3-point shot. Mr. Clutch has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
Muhammad, no luck. For Detroit, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Aldwell Pope dishes to Jackson. Feeds it to Drummond. And Gibson sends it back.
They've had a cold start so far. Just 1 of 5 from the floor here early.
Here's Mr. Clutch. They had a 24-point outing in their last game against Portland. He kicks it to Muhammad. Just 4 to shoot. Shot's good by Gibson.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Jackson passes to Bargnani. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Passes it to Mr. Clutch. The dish to Gasol. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
It's Jackson with the drive. Pass to Drummond. No good. And it's Chicago the other way. Fresh from a win against Portland.
Their shooting percentage in that game was ridiculous. I mean, they created a lot of good looks for themselves, and you could see they were in rhythm and just continued to knock them down.
And guys, I thought the key was simply getting that ball side to side, reversing it, keeping pressure on the defense. That really opened up the court for them, and I think that's why they got so many good shots.
And here is Drummond following the three-pointer by Freak. Some solid defense from Gasol.
He's certainly not been at his best this quarter, and that's an understatement.
And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Gasol's got 6 points.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Palace. Let's give it up for Door Auto Motion. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris, a different look here for the Pistons. Drummond's checked in for Mozgov. Bargnani comes in for Charlie Villanueva. Tobias Harris is checked in for Caldwell Pope, and Reggie Jackson subbed in for Udrih. Chicago also making some changes. Pau Gasol's checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Mirotic, and it's Mr. Clutch in for Rose. So the Bulls 5 right now. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Chalmers is out there with Mr. Clutch. And it's McDermott in at the 3 spot.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Here's Jackson after the Bulls pick up 2. Now Bargnani. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Back to Johnson to end the run. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Pass to Chalmers. Here's Mr. Clutch, guarded by Jackson. No good from Mr. Clutch.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
And here's Jackson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Back to Bargnani. Johnson, a wide open look. Cans the shot with no... Putting near him. And the Pistons lead by 1.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Mr. Clutch, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That's on Reggie Jackson. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnover.
Now here's Jackson. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
But his passing just blew me away. I mean, to see him operate their offense that way was a breath of fresh air.
No good from Bargnani.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And the basket by Chalmers.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
Now here's Jackson. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. Over to the left wing. And here's Bargnani outside. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your... And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's Chicago. And
Andrea, you've had to face...
Okay, good job battling them out there. Let's talk about some crucial areas from the first half. The main thing is that we had a very good half in terms of shot selection. We haven't forced anything. We've taken what the defense has given us, and it's led to a terrific shooting percentage. I did like the scoring punch we got off the bench. That heated things up for us when we had to have a little something extra. That's it for now, guys. Let's go get that W.
welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, and he's the ringleader of their offense. And what we saw in that first half with his ability to keep everybody involved is the reason why they're playing well.
And that's just the thing. I mean, he knows how... to share the sugar. He makes sure everybody gets a touch, and that keeps the offense balanced and productive.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And to Detroit looking at who they've got. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Bargnani is out there with Harris, and it's Drummond in at the 5. Harris drains it from beyond the arc. Harris has got 11 points.
What are you going to do defensively? Such separation with the height advantage in that matchup.
Fires from deep. It's rebounded by Bargnani. So for the Pistons, their last game a loss to Charlotte.
And I know that's a game they'd like to forget. Sort of a tough day for them all the way around.
I don't see any reason they won't be able to rebound from it quickly, though. Quite honestly, I think this is a resilient squad, and they'll bounce back quickly.
Mr. Clutch, the pass to Gasol. Cans the 12-footer. He's got 8.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Pistons trail by 5. Here's the screen. Jackson kicks to Drummond. No good. Great D that time from Gibson. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Trailblazers, boy, was he tremendous. He dropped in 24 points, and there weren't too many shots that didn't fall for him. Really efficient night from the field. This was the latest chapter in what has been a stretch of very good outings for him. Will we see another one tonight, Kevin?
And thank you, Doris. It was a performance that has to have their upcoming opponents terrified.
Yeah, I think they'll be a little afraid. I mean, anybody who saw that game has to still be in awe of what he was able to do. Just absolutely dominant.
Boy, I tell you, he was in such a rhythm and on a roll. He could have won that game all by himself.
Rose passes to Mr. Clutch. And again, no good by Chicago. And Caldwell Pope now atop the key. A rebound by Mr. Clutch.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 4th assist in this one. Pistons trail by 10. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. The feed to Bargnani. It's stolen. Rose attacking. Soft touch off the glass. Rose has got 8 points.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
And no one has allowed fewer points since the All-Star break than these teams you see before you now. The Bulls.
And they've shown no slippage defensively. If anything, they've become more stifling since the break. I mean, they're playing inspired, passionate basketball at that end of the floor.
Johnson, he's checked in for Harris. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Chicago. Mirotic comes in for Rose. The Bulls leading by 10. Here's Mr. Clutch. He's got 16. Elbow shot. Rebound, Detroit. Johnson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Kicks it to Drummond. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the 3rd. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. Mozgov, he's checked in for Bargnani. The Bulls also changing it up. Caspi, he's checked in for Gasol. And it's Chalmers in for Muhammad. No good from Mr. Clutch.
This touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Here's Hudrick, defended by Chalmers. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, the numbers since the All-Star break, here's how Chicago ranks league-wide. 1st in opponent points per game. 5th in fewest turnovers per game. And they're a top 10 team in 3-point shooting.
And as you mentioned, they've been the best in limiting opponents' points per game. I mean, they really take the life out of a team's offense, grinding things to a halt. Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Detroit making a switch here. Villanueva's checked in. Picked by Mozgov. Here's Udrih. The stupendous finish in traffic. Udrih has got his third bucket of the night.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Sometimes you just got to man up and take a tough foul in order to stop these free runs to the rim.
Here's Mr. Clutch. That 3 off the mark.
He's frigid from 3. I don't know what's worse, that he can't hit anything from out there or that he keeps on trying to.
1:16 left in the third. Here's Villanueva. Rebound by the Bulls. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Caldwell Pope dishes to Johnson. He feeds it to Udrih. Picked by Mozgov. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Jacks up a 3. Udrih can't hit. The Bulls leading by 10. There's the pass to Mr. Clutch. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. And it's now 22 points for Freak.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Mozgov a screen on Chalmers. Caldwell Pope kicks to Mozgov.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Here's Mr. Clutch, and it would have counted had it fallen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. So for Chicago right now, Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Mr. Clutch out there with Rose. And it's Muhammad in at the small forward position. Johnson outside. For the 3, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Here's Rose. Passes to Mr. Clutch. Bargnani grabs the board.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
And he gets it to go. Johnson's got it back down to within single digits for the Pistons. Muhammad the pass to Mr. Clutch. Gasol dishes to Muhammad. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got his 4th rebound in this one. Picked by Bargnani. It's Jackson with the drive. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Gibson the screen. And again, no good by Chicago.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Outside Jackson. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. All sorts of time. Here's Drummond, and it's blocked. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. And Detroit has possession. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. And the basket by Harris.
And when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to rally and get back into it.
And Greg, it was really their defense just as much as their offense that served as the real catalyst, and I think it allowed them to put that run together.
Pistons trail by 6. dishes it to Drummond. Feeds it to Bargnani. That doesn't go either for Bargnani.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting. And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
That's good. Bargnani's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
This one for 3. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got his 6th rebound on the night. Outside Jackson. From 11 feet away. No good from Bargnani. The Bulls leading by 6. Here's Mr. Clutch. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got assist number 5 here tonight. For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, head coach of the Pistons had some words for his team over the break. He told them to stick with what's worked to this point, saying, listen, they're giving us all the space we need inside. Let's take advantage of it. Keep working the ball inside the paint.
Caldwell Pope, who's checked in for Detroit.
Look at the game Bargnani has been having. He has 8 points and 3 assists.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but also they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long. And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been quietly, but very efficiently.
Outside Jackson. He dishes it to Harris. 1:37 left in the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
So the first one drops, and that brings them within single digits. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
He needed to convert on all of those. Missed opportunities at the line are the last thing they need right now.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He used the word patience several times in describing what he'd like to see from their offense. It's not a run-and-gun approach he wants from them. Gentlemen, some late-game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. Yes!
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
His favorite move right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
41 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Eno Udrih, who's checked in for Detroit. So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
There's 37 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Caldwell Pope buries it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. A chance here to possibly put it out of reach.
This is when you really need to maintain your focus.
No slowing him down. Just incredible numbers for Mr. Clutch. 31 points and just an amazing performance from downtown.
He is pouring it in from three, guys. You know how much I love to see guys knocking down buckets.
Udrih dishes to Caldwell Pope.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
Shooting 2 for Detroit.
He drops the first one, and that turns the lead to 6. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. And so they foul intentionally.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good. Here's Mr. Clutch. It's rebounded by Bargnani. From outside the arc, no good. Mr. Clutch, he cans that one.